All right, we are live on that one. Hey everybody, welcome to the damn show. I am getting live on the other platforms, so just give me a moment. I don't know what all you can see is microphone. Okay. Just give me a few moments here, and I'll be live with you. Nothing. I'll just get a water.
What?
Just some water. I'm live. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Give me 1 moment. Need to go live on the other platforms. As you know, we go live on the damn show on multiple platforms at one time. So we're just getting every one of them together. Let's see.
You done with this?
Yeah. Go live. All right. Now I need to go live on this platform down here. Let's see. Try to stabilize it here. Oh, it's too close. Go live, go live, go live. A test broadcast before you look live. Nope. Set live. I'm getting there, guys. Sorry, I have to get YouTube together first. I try to put them in a rotation. Sometimes I go first live on TikTok, and then I go live on Facebook, and then I'm live on YouTube. Sometimes it's the reverse, and I mix it up sometimes. We are live first on YouTube this time, so just give me a moment. You'll now know what it feels like for the rest of the world. Go live, go live. Oh, shoot, somewhere. Okay. Okay. And then yada yes. Hello. Okay. Red logs. Am I live yet? Am I live yet? I can't tell if I'm live. Am I live? The heck? If anybody can see me, let me know if I am live on the Facebook. Testing. 1, 2, 3. I don't hear anything. Yes. Invite people. I think I'm not live yet. No. Just go live for crapping out loud. Complete post details. What are my post details? Sure. Oh. Title required. Oh, gosh. Description required. Okay. And choose an image. So how to choose an image? I don't want to choose an image. Why? Can I just go live? Oh, here, go live. Oh, finally got the Facebook Live to go live, I think. Live video is starting. Okay, now time for TikTok. All right, the damn show live now on TikTok. All right. All right, I may need to brace this one up a little bit. Live video is starting. Do I have to, ooh, gosh. This one seems like it's a little bit close. Why is Facebook taking so long? Do I need to change platforms? Why is it taking so long to go? Is this live? Is it live? It says live! I hope it's legit working. Is there any way for you to check on your Facebook, please? Thank you. Just to confirm. Your Facebook. The TikTok's already live and it's doing good. Hi, guys. Welcome to the live. This is our damn show. Welcome to the damn show. We are live on all 3 platforms tonight because we had some issues trying to get it together. So, welcome, as you know, welcome TikTok, welcome Facebook, welcome YouTube. I will try to talk to you all at the same time. We are here live in the Remark Gallery. I'm sorry that the Facebook video looks hella fuzzy. Can we shed a little bit of light this way, and perhaps this way over here? Because Facebook is looking ginger. Oh, TikTok, you're doing good. And YouTube, you're looking dingy too. So we're going to shed a little bit of light. And so if the live stream looks a little kinky on one, did I say kinky? Looks like it's kinking on one format or another. Hello. Hi, I'm good, love. How are you? I haven't missed you anymore. That's getting better. It's getting better. We just need this side now.
You want to turn that off?
Yeah, and just tilt this one. No, on, and just tilt that one also this way. Sorry, we didn't get our lighting together, girl. We're trying to get our lighting together. We just alive. I've been good. Trying to get over some, that's better. And then this one over here can face this way too. Ooh, I'm going to start to sweat now that I'm in the lights. Oh, gosh. It's okay. We are live at the Remark Gallery. Much better. I think it's much better. You think so? And so we are live. Oh, man. I'm so happy to see you. I haven't seen you in a really long time. But we are talking trauma, the damn show, breaking through the barriers of self and soul. So if I look here, I'm talking to TikTok. Look here, I'm talking to Facebook. Look here, I'm talking to YouTube because we are live on all 3 platforms. So if one platform or another begins to stream slowly, you can always switch over. The chat is open, I believe, in all of them. I'm not sure. Let me see. Let me just check and make sure that the chat is open in all of them. I actually don't know how to find the chat in Facebook yet. So we'll figure that out next week because I'm already late. But anyways, how have things been going for you? Do you have any stressors you want to talk about before I begin my subject matter? Do you have any questions about depression, communication with people who have depression, or while you are in a PTSD episode, whether or not you want to talk about any of those issues before I begin the subject matter of the night, which is lineal trauma. Yes, okay, continuing with a damn show, everybody. So, we are talking about lineal trauma. Actually, this is really more along the lines of genetic influence, right? That is trauma that has influenced the DNA, trauma that is way, way back. I'm talking about your grandmama's 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 grandmama that has transferred on because what's restoration did not occur. If we do not restore from trauma, we transfer trauma. It's a real thing, people. You see these eyes? I got them from somewhere. These lips? I got them from somewhere. This mind? I got it from somewhere. Now, did my exterior environment contribute? Did my exterior experiences contribute to all of my mass of creativity that you see around me? Why, yes. Yes, indeed it did. But it alone did not create the basis by which my mind chooses in life. So, I do not come from a religious perspective because I do not subscribe to religions. And I do not come from a political perspective because it's politics. And I aim for the truth. And I do not subscribe to any particular theory of science. I subscribe to the witness of human behavior. That's what I subscribe to. The evidence, my people, is in the shit. Okay? Now, what that means is a cow will consume the grasses. Yes? A cow will consume the fields. And when it excretes its shit, the evidence of what it has consumed is in there. Now, most cows will consume the fields. That being said, we are conditioned to function within our environments, right? Now, I don't know if you are familiar with family traditions, because some of you are connected to families that have traditions, and some of you are not. Mr. Booker, if you could just shift to the left, I would greatly appreciate it. Or is it to the right? It's to your right. Thank you so much. Because I keep seeing his red shirt going back and forth. And I'm just like, man. So now we're talking about traditions, right? Because we're going to talk about external things so that we can understand internal reflections, okay? Because the important thing to remember is that our insides are an environment. And we feel within our environment. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Last week, I wasn't feeling so well. I have been having an environmental shift called high blood pressure. As a result of that environmental storm that I was having, all kinds of things were going on physiologically. Okay, so I am trying to get my health in order so that my internal well-being will be collaborating cooperatively with my external desires. Okay, so back on track. That being said, our insides are an environment, right? The outside is also an environment, and then the outside of the outside of the outside, all the way into the universe is great, far and beyond. Yeah. So all of those are environments, and they are all interwoven. Right? And so when things are interwoven, they come together for a function, for a purpose. And so we're going to talk about the external environment and how it communicates with the internal environment and how our previous ancestral experiences are communicating with our current system and impacting our current environment, influencing the choices that we make in our current external environment. So if we have experienced trauma, that trauma is added on to the deficit of historical trauma that we have adopted in the room. How about that shiznit? So I want to propose some things for you to consider, okay? Because I know we've all gone to school, right? And we have all had some education, and we have all had experiences, and we have all had ideas influenced from either religions or doctors or therapists or people that we really care about. You see, I've been somewhere this weekend, right? You see, don't be distracted. I was somewhere. People that who we have communicated with, connected with, relationships that we've had. All of these things are external experiences that influence our core beliefs. Now, our core beliefs, right? They need validated. And when they need validated, we have experiences out here in the world that validate those things. Now, trauma creates a pattern of necessary validations, things that validate the messages that came, or I should say that, or imparted or infused into our message system or our database. And those messages we began to believe about ourselves. That is coupled with the messages that have been transferred in the room. Now, where do we get those messages? Where do we get those feelings? Where do we get those ideas and those ideals and those mindsets that can't be explained but develop anyway? Where do we get them? From our madre, from our mama, from the mother, the seed bearer. Yes? And so what she feels, what she thinks, all of that on a molecular level is information, is genetic information. There's genetic information floating around me right now. I'm putting some out there, but it's also there. The plants have contributed some too. Everything that is living has genetic information that is transmitting in the environments, right? So information isn't just housed in here, it is communicated in here, and is it expressed through soul. What you see animating before you is my soul, right? So people always say, well, where is the soul? Point to yourself. Everybody who is on here, who is listening, point to yourself now. I can't see you, right? I cannot see you, but I can tell you where you have pointed. Did you point here? Did you point here? Am I accurate? Did you point here? Or did you point here? Did you point here? Did you point to your knees? When I said point to yourself, did you point to your knees? Did you point to your backside? Or did you point here? You did, didn't you? I know you did. Because everyone innately knows where the core of your soul is housed. So when I say point to yourself in any language across the world, this will be the response. Unless the chakras alignment is off to the degree, it is so severely off that it will point somewhere else, detached, disconnected from true core identity, true core belief, right? So your core is housed in here. I know we only have a short amount of time, so this is going to be a multi-segment conversation. This is your core. This is where your self is housed. Your soul expresses from here. So when you begin to talk about trauma and you begin to talk about things that have hurt you, you feel the anxiety come upon your chest because your soul cramps like a Charlie horse. It cramps, it spasms, okay? And those things are telling you that your soul has something to release, something that it has held on to for so long, so tightly, yeah? So we're going to talk about in these series conversations historical trauma. Historical trauma can be something that was connected to your mother that transferred onto you, right? And she might have tried with all her might to keep that trauma from spilling out, from leaching onto you. But that genetic information, those feelings, those emotions, they transmit, they radiate, right? So feelings and emotions are like heat. Think of it like your furnace system, okay? And in your body, you have this furnace system. And the furnace system has controls that go up and down. They tell you whether you're going to be cold, whether you're going to be hot, but your feelings are also part of the thermostat, right? And so they then tell the system whether or not to feel passionate about something or whether to go cold and feelingless about something. Yes. And so what then determines where your thermostat goes up or down is the triggers. And the triggers are those parts that you press that says going up, the temperature is rising. Or are you pressing the down button? No, we don't feel so good about that. We're just going to turn that shit down. Okay. And so this becomes part of your emotional response system, which is connected to that housing system in there, connected directly to this heart right here. Do you realize your heart really isn't over here? Your heart is really right here where you pressed and said, this is myself. This is my soul. This is who I am. When you're talking about me, emphatically me, who are you pointing to? Me. No, you're saying me. Okay? We innately know this information. Just like we know how to blink and we know how to think and we do all of those things because our human composite is structured and built to do these things. So there are things that say you were adopted like me, right? So there are many things that I do that are like my adopted parents. And there are many things because I witnessed those things and my witness absorbed that information. My experience being around their energy began to be in tune and in alignment with some of the things that they would do. And so I would resonate with that thing. And that resonation is that temperature control, right? Those feelings, they feel good. I feel good about this. I'm going to do that. I feel good about that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to, you know what, when I grow up, I'm going to do this. Or you know what, next week, I think I'm going to do something like that. These are all things called resonation. They vibe with what validates your soul, with what your core belief about yourself is. And if those core beliefs align with the side of you that is deteriorating or that is feeling self-destructive or that is feeling degraded, then too, you will engage and embrace the activities and the behavior and selection of choices that validate that. So I contend that there is the law of attraction. So those of you who are already coming at me from behind the scenes, talking about, yeah, but the law of validation, your words have power and yada, yada, yada. That has a boundary. That is limited. All right? Let me tell you how. Let me tell you why. The law of validation trumps the law. Ugh, I hate even using that word. Can I find a new word besides Trump? Huh? Facebook's not working? Oh, I must stop.
Ask any of them if they see Facebook.
Does anybody else see Facebook?
It says loading.
Okay, if it says loading, I got to change devices. So can we just change our connection? Can you give me another hotspot? Give me pause. Give me pause. I'm coming. Okay, give me pause. I'm coming. YouTube, I'm coming. Can I get another?
You can try this one. Whatever is in
Let me try that one. It's probably too much on one hotspot. So I will redo that live because it's important for Facebook too, guys. Even though I am recording this on YouTube and I am recording this here, I should be able to share it. I can't share the live on TikTok, so I'm kind of screwed there. Just give me a minute so I can get the Facebook together because these are really, really important things, and we really are trying to cast. Okay. Check your settings and try again. Great. Let me do that.
Okay.
All right, we ready?
It's Moto 7,
yes,
3345.
Gotcha. It's coming. Your connection was restored. How? Okay, great. Close and try again. Reload. And let's hope that works, guys. The heck? Can't be live. I need to be live. Oh, it's getting hot in here. Woo. Webcam, you are now live. Awesome. Okay, so wait for the camera. Waiting for the camera. Waiting for the camera. Okay. Waiting for the camera. Waiting for the camera. It says end live. Said I was on for 19 minutes and 34 seconds, but most of it was blank. Waiting for the camera. What's that mean? Waiting for the camera. I already chose my camera. Guys, help me. I am at a loss. Dashboard. Let's see. Dashboard. Will it help me there? Waiting for the camera. What does that mean? Oh, here. How about I just end live and start a new one? And end that live and start a new one. Sorry, guys. Had a little Facebook difficulty. You know, we're trying to keep our platforms together here. End the live. And okay. Why is it not ending? Why is it not ending? I need you to end. It says remark gallery is not live. Ugh. Ciao. There we go. It was taking forever. Okay. Now let's go live again. Live. Okay, waiting for live video signal. What does that mean? Guys! Uh-oh. I messed up the Facebook because I didn't put it on another signal. Oh, gosh. Live. Okay. And then, oh, I got to go down here. All right. Right here. Go live. Go live. Go live. Go live. Go live. No! Can I just go live? Do you guys have to make me go through all of this nonsense every time? Webcam. I already chose it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Camera controls, blah, 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 blah. Says I must put this stuff in. Title required. Ugh, gosh. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. The damn show. And required lineal trauma. Hey, hold on, guys. I'm gonna need you to remind me where I was. Trauma. Save. All right. Go live. Gosh. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. All right. We're back. Welcome to the damn show, everybody. I have been already 30 minutes on my live. Has it been 30 minutes? It's okay. It didn't take on Facebook. So you'll have to kind of just catch up because folks on the TikTok are already in progress with the session, this segment. So welcome to the damn show, everybody. We are talking about lineal trauma. Okay, what was I talking about, ladies, on TikTok? We have TikTok here, Facebook here, YouTube here. YouTube is raw. We've been on YouTube now 30 minutes raw. So they've seen me on and off with these different platforms. But the idea is to get this information out to as many people. A lot of people are on YouTube and they're not on Facebook. They're on Facebook and they're not on TikTok. They're on TikTok and they're not any on these other platforms. So we're trying to cast as large a net as possible to get the information out to as many people as possible. Again, I apologize for those who were unable to. Can you check and see if we're audio can be heard here on Facebook? So I'm just going to get somebody to check to make sure, because I see that we are live. So thank you. We were about to the law of validation. Yes. And the law of attraction. Yes. Correct. Very good. So we were talking about the law of attraction versus the law of validation. And if you are one of those people who believe the law of attraction is the only means by which you know your words, you speak your words, and whatever you speak speaks into existence, and blah blah blah. That listen. Let me try to tell you, okay? Let me try to tell you. I'm always going to give you examples, right? Here goes my example for your law of validation. Okay, the law of validation can be used in a football field. Let's just say we all just had the Super Bowl, right? Did you really hope for somebody? Like, were you really hoping for somebody? Like, if both teams were religious, both teams might have started out praying. So did God abandon one team for another team? Did one team has to lose? Like, there has to be a loser, or they go over into another game or something like that. But there has to be a loser. There has to be someone who does not come out on top. So the law of validation would mean both teams must win all of the time, because both teams put great passion and great energy and great everything and all they have into a game. But things, you have a bad game, like you have a bad day. Things can be off, right? Does that mean the universe favored one over the other, that there was a higher deity, that the deities themselves were sitting in the fields just vexing one side over another? It's just, law of attraction does not work in the fields, okay? But when it comes to soul, all right, when it comes to who you are, the law of validation and the law of attraction, they are like hand in hand, right? You can't just have the law of attraction, right? What are you attracted to? You are attracted to the things your core believes. And the things that your core beliefs have established are the things you are drawn to. Now, why are you drawn? That's the question. Why does the law of attraction work? Why? Because you want to validate your beliefs. You want to do that. Not only do you want to, but your body and your being needs to validate that. And so when you're in the womb, the first thing your mama starts doing is this, validating you, validating your existence, validating and approving and or disproving your existence. Thank you. Vibro day. Your existence. Okay. Action is it. Too low FPS. I don't even know what that means. God, I can't be.
Facebook is done.
Facebook is a wrap today. So you either get it or you don't on Facebook. My apologies. I don't know what else to do. I'm in Slovenia and the system is slow. Okay. Thank you, TikTok, for still staying with me. Oh, thank you. Am I glowing? It's the light. Trust me. Probably the heat from the lights, because I've been sweating, child. I've been sweating. So the law of validation, what is required is a pattern of a sequence of events that cause a pattern of expression to occur. That pattern of expression, the moment you come out of the womb, if your mother loves you, she holds you. Yeah, she holds you close to her. And instantly you feel her validation. You feel her presence. You feel her warmth. You feel the physiological aspects and the physiological components. but you also feel that nurturing validation that says that you are here, you have arrived. Oh, my baby is here. Oh, I love my baby. Oh, my baby, right? And so you get kisses and you get strokes and you get all those things you didn't get in the womb, but you sensed from your mother, right? How did you sense it? You sensed it through emotion. You sensed it through genetic the genetic expression that she imparted when she was caring for you and nurturing you while in the womb. Okay. Now, sometimes the opposite action took place, right? There was a disappointment, there was a discouragement. Those feelings are also transferred. It's energy. Energy is transferable. You can shift energy. I'm an energy healer, right? So when I do that, I'm moving energy. I'm moving energy from one position to another. I'm moving it into a position where it can be receptive to healing. So energy is movable. What's an example externally? Because we're talking about the external environments, right? Being a match to the internal environment. So what's a great example of energy moving? I'm going to give you an example, right? Soccer. Soccer is the example, okay? Energy moves. You kick the ball, right? Because you have used your physical ability and your power, your force to kick the ball in the direction that you want it to go. It may miss the mark. Why? Because there are other environmental conditions out here that may interfere and or impact, like wind, right? But as you grow older and you mature in soccer, you begin to detect some of the external elements and external conditions, and you modify, you adjust. To make modification means that and you can determine that there's something else, like, oh, it's windy today or it's raining today. So I know that I have to hit this ball a certain kind of way because I've practiced enough to know that I can impact the elements by redirecting my energy, by shifting my own energy, by changing my force of impact, by increasing it or decreasing it, right? All of these things mean you have control and power over energy. It means you can move energy too, right? When you are in the room, people could say, you just lit up this room when you entered. That's you moving energy. Your energy radiated, like that thermostat we're talking about, right? How you felt, what you felt in the moment, that inner thermostat within yourself, right? Because when I say point to yourself, I don't have to see you. I know you point to yourself. Your inner energy, your inner soul radiates. Like you said, I'm glowing. Am I glowing? However you felt when you arrived here, perhaps I shifted some of those feelings with my presence being here. Yeah? Oh, thank you, love. Yeah? And so you too have the power to do that, right? So if I had come in and I just like, I don't know, it just really sucks. Maybe you would have shifted down too, downshifting gears, your emotional gears, your emotional thermostat would have been like, right? And then you would have been up, right? So those are triggers every time you press that, right? You just have somebody say, you're pressing my buttons. You're pressing my buttons. You make me feel this way. You make me feel that way. Well, really, they're not making you feel that way, but they are shifting. They are moving energy, and your energy is responding. And there may be pushback. Your energy may be pushing back. Your energy, your thermostat, you may increase your thermostat to safeguard yourself, to protect yourself. And so that making me is really you making yourself guarded, doing what you need to do and choosing the behavior that you feel is going to protect your soul self, going to protect what validates your feelings, what validates your emotional state, what protects your best interest. What is your best interest? According to you, it is your soul's core beliefs. Can you change those things? Absolutely. When you change what you believe, your validations will also change. When your validations change, what you attract will change. And what you are attracted to will change. It is not a one-way street, the law of attraction. The law of attraction is what you attract and what you are attracted to. You can attract many things in life. You can attract flies, bees, no-see-ums. I can't stand them motherfuckers. I still got scars from last year. No-see-ums are traumatic. No-see-ums is like traumatic impact. They're devastating and they leave scars and marks for a long time. All right. So you can attract many things. All right. If you have vitamin deficiency, you could attract, if you have a deficiency of B12, you could attract more mosquitoes than those who have a higher level of vitamin B12, vitamin B3, 6, etc. Then they probably, mosquitoes don't like that taste. Okay. So just because you attract something doesn't mean you can choose it. Now, why do I say that? Does not mean you can choose it because you attract it, okay? Because you also have to be attracted to it in order to choose it, okay? We don't just choose the things we are not attracted to. We have to have something that says to us, we either need or want this. That is us being attracted to it to some degree. Otherwise, we are forced. Otherwise, our will is usurped and we are forced to do that thing or forced to accept that thing. If it goes against our will or against our law of validation, against our belief, our core belief. For example, you could be forced to accept another religion than the one that you believe in your core self, in your core identity, and in other places in the world. There is a forced religion. You must accept the religion, even if a missionary came and tried to convert you. It could be against the law to have your Bible. And so that is a violation of your will, a violation of what your core belief would choose. So just because it's presented to you doesn't mean you would choose it. And you might falsely choose things to go with the flow of things, to make other people happy. And then you wind up in this whirlpool of decisions that just really goes against your core beliefs. So just because you choose it, you have to have some degree of want or need. Maybe you need the affections or the approval of other people with regards to that choice. And so you make the choice, and yet it's devastating to your core belief, satisfying to those who you have accepted it for, but still goes against your core, right? Can you shift that belief? Can you eventually adapt to that belief? We do it all the time. As children, we wind up protecting and defending the people who violate us most, right? Who we know innately these things are wrong. How do we know innately? Because at some point in time, genetically, we sense this thing isn't right. You like this lipstick, girl? Girl, let me tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you what it is before we go, okay?
We don't carry. We need to...
how do we do that?
So bad. Hi.
Hi, how are you, girl?
That's so cute.
Aw. So we're talking about trauma. Are you talking about trauma?
Sorry? Yeah.
Okay, what do you have a question?
No, I love your dress.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Where you coming in from?
Philippines.
Oh, you're in the Philippines? Our lipsticks are very similar in color.
Your lipstick is beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. You'll have to come back in and chat with me again If you have any questions about trauma, or you have any questions about PTSD, traumatic brain injury, or suicidal prevention, you're happy to ask those questions, okay?
Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. I'll see you.
All right, take good care. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
So guys, what's so important, right, is that we learn to align beliefs and core beliefs that favor restoration. So that's even why we're even talking about all of this, right? So how is it then that there's leachage? Okay, leeches. I don't mean leeches as in the bloodsuckers that attach to you emotionally, physically, or mentally. I'm talking about leeching. What does it mean to have leeching? Something that leaches into a space, encroaches, right? Or transfers by intrusion, right? It's not something that was that's necessarily healthful or in your best interest, but it oozes, right? It comes in, it escapes the barriers that are trying to keep it in. So let's say our parents really don't want you to experience some of the things, the hardships, or some of the bad experiences that they were exposed to. They don't want you to experience those things. So they raise you kind of sheltered, or to try to keep you away from that happening. But they forget an important thing. They themselves, if they have not restored from those things emotionally leach the energy, right? The expression. When you're triggered just by raising your own children, those triggers cause expressions, and those feelings, those passions of self, right? Based on the core beliefs that you may have about yourself, and including low self-esteem, including the things that have you arriving to the stoop of depression, including the things that have you revolving through suicidal ideation. All of those things, depending on the moment of the environment inside of you and the environment outside of you, in the moment that you're having this issue with your children, leaching occurs. And so those things might transfer onto your children, and you're not even aware of it. Just like the things that happen to your parents, you're not even aware of it, right? And so I go back to what I was talking about with adoption. I was adopted by a wonderful family, okay? However, we came from two completely different worlds. Completely. They were staunch dogmatic Catholics. By staunch, that means very, very dedicated, very, very devout. So they followed Catholicism to the letter of the law. All right. And so when we're talking about being raised in a new habitat, in a new environment, I had a lot of adapting to do. I had a lot of adjusting to do, right? All the things that had previously happened to me environmentally had leached into my system already. And the things that had happened to my mother that she wasn't able to restore from had leached into my system. But I didn't know my dad. I'd never really met him. I'd not had experience communicating with him, being exposed to his behaviors, being exposed to his gesticulations, which I'm sure everybody has gesticulations, okay? Not just the Italians and not just the New Yorkers, all right? Staten Islanders aren't the only one who move their hands a lot. So I'm just saying, all right? There are a lot of things that I do. And when I rule out the influence of my adopted parents and maybe some teachers or some people that I thought of finally, that I said, oh man, I'm going to do that. Oh, I like how this person does this. I'm going to do that. And you adopt things that you've been exposed to. So when I rule all of those things out, I know that there are things that I have left over that I do. And that have I not ever seen my father, I'm sure some of those things are attributed to him. But how would I ever have attributed them? How would I ever have acquired them to have attributed them? Genetics. So you have involuntary responses to genetic DNA that has carried information forward, Trauma is a deficit of information. It's a deficit information. It's not that it's a lack of information. It could be a great deal of information, but the deficit is in the value that it has. The value could produce toxic responses. The value could produce toxic behavior, lead you to react toxically, lead you to make choices that are toxic. Why? Because the things that are attracted to you, right? The things that are attracted, that gravitate, that are magnetic to your soul, because we're all magnets, you know. We are protein, but we are magnetic. That is why we attract. The very notion, the very concept of attraction is magnetics. You're drawn to, right? Can't be drawn to something that is it can't, it's gravity is pulling it to me. But attraction and gravity also is a force field, which is also magnetic. Okay? So the shit that goes up must come down. And it does land somewhere. All right? Does it have an effect on who chooses? Absolutely. Huge effect, right? Even your sexual partners, even the type of sexual partner that you choose at any given point in time in your life is a reflection and or a deflection of your soul's expression. What is your soul expression based in? Your core beliefs. What are your core beliefs rooted in? Your experiences within your environment and the genetic information that you are predisposed to express. The accumulation of those things create the choice in any given moment. So blah, 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 plus blah, 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 plus, blah, blah, plus minus equals. That's my Medea moment. No, but for real, the accumulation, plus and minus, divided by, multiplied by, all those things throughout your life to the moment of right now. Okay? All those things to the moment of right now. You cannot give your child in conception anything that you have in the future. You can only give it what you have in the moment, the portion, the fraction of who you are in the moment. How you deal, feel, heal in the moment. You cannot give the future. You can only give the present and the past. Everything leading up to this moment. So, that being said, the type of sexual partner that you choose will shift based on your core beliefs, your intentions and motives. That's nice. That's nice. But if you don't have your core beliefs in check and in alignment with that which validates the best version of yourself, you will have made choices and decisions that are aligned with the deficit. The deficit is what trauma transfers into your choice and decision-making processor. So yes, you could choose an unhealthy partner and really believe it's love because it's validating your need to provide something or your need to receive something or both. Some cases you just want it. You want it because it feels right. But what feels right may be aligned with the deficit of trauma. And that might be a lot because some people's deficit in trauma is deep. It's quicksandish. Yeah. So where am I at? I am at, how many minutes am I at? Oh, 54 minutes.
Somebody
gosh, I'm almost out of time.
Somebody needs to
Yeah, it's me. It's this here. I need that stick back. I'm sorry, guys. Got to put a charger in here. Coming. So do you have any questions about where I've brought you to thus far? Any questions? Oh, yes, thank you. Any questions about what we've said thus far? Because I know that it's a lot. But I'm getting it together here, guys. Give me a second. There we go. Oh, I don't know if this will work. Hold on. Okay. So I hope that answers your question about impact with relationships. How do you emotionally break away from someone who you have kids with? Okay, listen. The umbilical cord is strong, honey. It is strong. The ties that we have to the lineage of our children is inside of you when you have children. It's all in there, including the DNA shared with your partner that helped you conceive those children. It's housed inside of you. You nurture it, whether you know it or not. The frequency and the genetic code within that child is infused inside of you, and you carry it on for all time. For all time. You know, we never forget. We never forget. But not only do we never forget, our muscle memory never forgets. Do you think our womb forgets? Our womb never forgets. Our womb never forgets. From the womb to the tomb, the information remains with us. It is also transferred onto our children. So how do we disconnect from something that has such a deep, deep rooted, and by rooted, I mean truly rooted, right? Like the roots of a weed or the roots of a seed, okay? Rooted in our beings. How do we do that? So we have to think about our relationships in terms of environments as well. So we have an internal environment we talked about, which is everything housed inside of ourself. When we point here, we're pointing to ourself. Anywhere in the world you are, in any language, we're saying ourself. Okay, so that information is housed inside of ourselves. It is also housed out here. And then we have to think about it like, what would we do if this person, right? If this person was housed somewhere else, if this person wasn't my significant other and or the person that co-created the future with me. So what would my response be? What would be my good advice to someone else in my situation? Because the only way really is to first disconnect emotionally. And that way you project on to another person, friend, whatever. What would you tell them? If they were in a similar situation, not with the same person, but with someone who was creating the environment that you house, what would you tell them? See, I don't know the environment that you're talking about, but think of it like an environment. If you lived in Florida, would you intentionally build your whole universe, your house, your car, your job, your career around hurricane and take that risk? People do it all the time. They buy insurance, right? Do you have insurance for your soul? Do you have insurance for your soul? Is your soul insured? So you take risks with your environment, you see? What type of risk are you willing to take? You begin to see yourself as the environment, that person as an environment, the space between you as an environment, and the space within your children as an environment. How do you nurture those environments? Your children are directly connected to your own environment. If your environment is off, your children's environment will be off, right? So if a relationship is toxic to your environment, you in turn will be toxic to their environments, and your children's environment will be toxic as a result of the toxicity shared between you because they are absorbing your environments. It is invisible. It's static electricity. You cannot even see the transference oozing into their souls as their little tiny pores absorb it all. They're like sponges. Don't you know? People tell you all the time children are like sponges. They soak it all in very quickly. Very, very quickly, the rapid fire is occurring, and it's all information. It all becomes part of their human processor. And it becomes part of their need to make validating choices. It becomes part of their core beliefs, their fundamental beliefs, their foundation. The things they experience, they absorb. It all becomes information in that validating processor. They, in turn, will begin to attract things into their life. And so are you really making a choice that is about you and that person? Or are you making a choice that is going to influence and affect the future of your children's choice processor? But when you go with the other parent, that's not an environment you can personally control. Absolutely. You can't control their environment. You can affect and impact their environment and vice versa, right? Because when they impact yours and when they influence yours and when they affect yours, you're the one that has to control the shit that they left you with, right? It's you and you alone, with the help and support of your friends and family and loved ones, if you so choose to share that information with them. So yes, it's not about control, right? It is about the exuding. What are we exuding? What are we expressing here? How are our environments transferring onto the people that we love? How are we influencing one another? So how do you disconnect? Distance, if it's violent, distance, absolute distance. Time is on your side, okay? Time is on all of our sides until we have none left, okay? Time is used to help reduce and minimize the emotional response we have to the lost connection, okay? But disconnecting, have you ever unplugged your TV? Back in the day when you had TVs, you would unplug your TV and the TV would still kind of have like a little bit of a a little bit of a glow, and then it would eventually just die out, right? That unplugging from the energy, from the live connection, right? You are plugged into the live connection. And when you unplug, there's a brief amount of time in which that begins to diminish. That live energy starts to subside. And so those strong connections grow weaker. They grow weaker. Their attachments redefine themselves, a lot like what happens in trauma brain, right? When you have a traumatic, the neural pathways are interrupted and or severed. And so new ones have to be created. And so right now you're kind of looking at the connection that you have. It's very live and it's very active and it's very current and it's very impactful and it's strong. And so resistance to it is also an emotional, can create emotional distress, can create crying, can create despair, can create a lot of grief, can create anger, can create all of these thermostatic controls, right? All those emotions are, all those feelings are hot wired. They are live. They are plugged in. Unplugging is difficult. It really is. But if it's in the best interest of the future of your children, unplug. What would you not do for your children? What would you not do for the future of your children's impact, right? And so you're already exuding and expressing and being connected to things that are based and rooted in beliefs and feelings and emotional attractions that validate some things that might not be so great in you. And so you have this unhealthy connection. The best start to it all is to unplug from it. That might mean distance. That might mean limiting, right? Sometimes you can wean. It doesn't have to be like an immediate thing. You can sometimes wean, right? You can say, okay, depending, if it's violence, oh my God, I can't tell you. There's not enough distance between you and severing the distance between you and that person. There's not enough. There's not enough distance that you can have that makes it safe until you're in a place where you feel safe, when you feel like my biological mother was not safe. She was physically unsafe. And so she was, 1,500 miles away. I still didn't feel safe, because that person had other ways, my mom, that person had other ways of being toxic and having toxic influence on my life. Even picking up the phone was a reinitiation of that toxic feeling. And it would just all those old unsafe feelings would just resurface. And then I'm now having to deal with the stress and the anxiety and the trauma and the triggers and the nightmares and the daymares and all this that are now associated with just disconnect for your own health, so that those things aren't radiating, right? Radiation is the leech of information. When you begin to radiate, you say that I'm radiating, I'm glowing, yeah? You can also radiate heat of anger, heat of all of that is energy. You can put my hands here. I feel the energy. Put your hands around your face. Just come close like this. You'll feel it. You'll feel your own energy, right? You put your hands out here. Huh? Your hands out here, you don't feel it like that. Put your hands close. Yeah, you feel that? In your hands, you feel something. You feel a sense of strength that's in there, okay? Distance begins to make that energy grow weak. But at the same time, it brings your thermostat down to a level that is maintainable, that is stable. Your energy is unstable. You're unstable when your thermostat is on 120 degrees. You can't even think straight. It's like the wires inside begin to get fried, and you make poor decisions. Poor decisions. When you bring that thermostat down, your decisions become cool. You begin to be more calculated. And as women, we know how to be very, very calculated because it keeps our family alive. We know how to be able to create good solutions. That's our job. Our innate job as women is to be able to create unique solutions to problems. But we can only do that when our thermostat is at a place that is regulated and regulatable. Okay. Energy. I feel that energy every time my mom's family contacts me. Yeah. So, it's rough. It's rough. And so really, when you know it's close, the person is close to you, right? It becomes more difficult because you aren't abandoning your family, right? But what you can do is apply boundaries. You put safe boundaries, a shield of protection, a shield of defense around yourself. In some religions, that's a deity. Some religions, that's a prayer or a ritual that people do that will put some shield of protection around them so that they can go into the lion's den and blah, 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 right? But the idea is still true, is still consistent across the board, that going into something, you are prepared. You already know, listen, what you have on your side is the best thing you're ever going to learn from me in your life. Okay? What you have on your side, in your favor, always, is the history of the moment. Repeat it. Repeat what I'm telling you. I have the history of the moment on my side. Now, let me define it. Let me define it. It's going to be a very simple definition. Are you ready? Every time I blah, 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 yada, 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 yada happens, that is where your power exists. Your power resides in every time. You get to change the script. You get to change the behavior. You have the opportunity to prepare because you know that time is coming and you know exactly what happens because it happens this way every freaking year. Every year I go to Thanksgiving, this is what happens. Every year my dad does this. Every year I do this, my mom does that. Every time. You have the power of every time because they've already told you what to expect. They've already told you how they're going to treat you. You can change the script. You have the power to plan ahead and respond differently and throw all that shit off track. All of it. That is the power that you hold every time. Every time you hold that power. And so this is where we begin to change generational, historical trauma. Being aware, being conscious of its impact in our soul, being conscious of how it realigned us, being conscious of how it impacts our core belief, whether that's religious, political, even your political beliefs, all of it is a summary. Where's my Badia? The plus, the minus, the equals, the plus, the minus, the divided by, multiplied. All of it. They say, forget your past. Take one of them numbers out of there. The solution changes. Take one of them numbers out of there. The equivalency of the moment, the accumulation of the moment has changed. It's changed. So you can't extract the past. You can't take it out. You can just change how you use the results. The result is going to be the same equals, right? But you can change how you use the results. Use the results differently. Oh, Lordy, have mercy. My battery's running low. I'm running out of everything. I'm going to have to close my show. I'm over time. But we can pick up and continue between now and next Sunday, 9 p.m. I want you to be thinking about the questions you have related to this, because it's so important that we work through historical trauma, that we work through lineal trauma, because this is how we truly change and bleed out that transference onto the future generations, how we prepare them and equip them to be able to respond appropriately to toxic energy, to toxic transference, which we use to make choices, as well as the healthy ones. But the healthy ones are easy, so that we don't even have to pay too much attention. The good memories are easy to remember. It's the hard shit, right? That's the shit that raises our blood pressure. Holidays are always stressful, which is why I always say don't do any of this work, this soul work during the holidays. Instead, use the pre-holiday season to prepare for the new responses that you're going to use in the holidays, right? But don't do any of the core work because there's too many distractions. Your stress and anxiety is up. You don't need to compound it, right? But this is stuff we'll talk about. Anyways, I'm over time. I love y'all. I just want to see you all be able to make positive and constructive decisions in your life that will reap and produce and yield a harvest inside your soul that is in alignment with your true desires, the things you really want. But there's that kink inside, right? There's that kink. All right. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Welcome to the damn show. Okay, no, we're ending. We're in it. Next week, welcome to the damn show. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Toodles, guys. Toodles.